Welcome to ISRA League's Touring Championship, brought to you by the Z1 SimWheel LCD display software. Head to z1simwheel.com and you can buy the software that will get these dashboards and telemetry readouts for your sim rig and make a great addition, especially for you guys who can't see your dashboards normally in your driving position. Well, we come into race 5 here with Mike Kelly leading in the Corvettes with 68 points. Todd Carver just 2 points behind, though. Ryan Huff and Warren Bateman in a heated battle there for third, so good, exciting stuff there in the top 4. John Kuzma and Alex Bilal very close there for 5th and 6th, and David Scott and Chuck Chambliss are tied for 7th and 8th there, and Timothy Stahl is just 1 point behind them, so lots of close battles there. In GT3, James Cullen leads with 75 points. Anthony Muniz sitting in 2nd, down 11. Daniel Gralty in 3rd, down 18. And Brian Carey in 4th, down 20. So Gralty and Carey there will have to see how they can do to keep that 3rd spot. And looks like I don't get enough time to talk through all the standings, but that's all right because we have a race to watch and we'll talk about the standings after that race again. So, this is race 5 at Road America of season 11. I'm Daniel Quaroni, and here with me are Brian Carey.
Hello.
Anthony Muniz.
Hey, guys.
And Brian, how could you take us through Road America's map?
All right, here we've been to Road America a number of times here. Nothing too special here. I mean, it's a fantastic track to drive. 9-10 the carousel, very difficult, long run down to Canada Corner. It's a narrow track, but it's a fast track, and it's going to produce some good racing, a lot of drafting battles between both classes. So hopefully, actually, it'll go better than the last race. I'm pretty sure that we've got that covered.
All right, and the Corvettes qualified with Alex Blau on the pole, 4/10 ahead of Kevin Savoy, Todd Carver and Mike Kelly on the 2nd row, Lauren Bateman and David Scott on the 3rd, Dimas Maulana and John Kelly on the 4th, and Ryan Huff and Chuck Chambliss on the 5th.
In GT3, James Cullen once again on pole, 205.814, but there, Russell Cow so close, right next to him on the front row. Then Corey Davis and Brian Carey on the 2nd, Colin McLean and Leandro Schmidt on the 3rd, Daniel Gralty and Daniel Quaroni on the 4th, and Joe Jr. and Jason Molina on the 5th row.
Now, this is one thing here, the pace lap here at Road America, nearly as long as Spa. Spa has a very short pace lap. They start just on the run down to Blanchemont there, whereas now we have to drive the entire 4 miles of Road America at speed, which is why the broadcast started as the cars pulled off the grid this time. Which
I was just going to point that out, yes.
That was a good move. I really appreciate that one. That's a nice shot of them going through the kink there, down on the run towards Canada Corner. The trees look somewhat like a plus sign. That's not quite... here on the track, it looked really nice and realistic. That did not... racing.
Well, I'm going to say there's some kind of weird camera issue here at Road America, and there are going to be a couple times where we're going to just be looking at the pits, the front straight, and that happened last time. And at the time, I thought it was because they had just done a release, and they had introduced a new camera, a gyro camera, which I thought screwed up the numbers and the count. Here's the shot that I'm talking about. For whatever reason, Road America has this problem. I regenerated the camera file off the default set, and it just refuses to behave. So there will be some times where we're going to see this. It shouldn't be too long, but unfortunately it's going to happen.
Shot for the start if we could stick with this.
Yeah, it would be a nice shot for the start,
yeah,
but of course, no, that's not going to happen.
No, why would it?
Well, we still get a pretty nice shot here of the Corvettes as they cross the line and start the clock here with 1:10.
And Daniel Buck is already, is he even in this race?
I didn't see him.
By this point, he had cleaned out half the field, so...
We're already doing better than last season.
Yeah, Colin here, coming up the outside of myself there, up ahead, and no one's died yet.
McLean going to take a peek up on the inside, going into turn 3. Doesn't make it work, though. Ryan a little bit later on the brakes. Oh, and Leandro Schmidt very close and had a great run coming off of turn 3 as they head down towards turn 5. But McLean's going to be on the inside to defend.
Yeah, this braking down here, it's so hard. just especially the first lap, but every lap. But because it's such a long braking economy, it's so high speed, it's such a slow corner to stack up of the cars ahead of you. Because when if you're 50 feet behind someone at speed, that will close right up to sometimes into the back of someone if you're not careful. So you really got to watch it going down into turn 5. Oh, it was a good pass by Mr. Hermont there, and moves him up a place.
And Doljan Boldrin looking to take advantage of the open spot there as the pass was made into turn 8. Tried going down the outside through the carousel. That was going to be a very hard move to make, and you can see he drops back in behind Terry Morsdorf.
And Tim Gralty's back there. I'm not sure what happened to him, but he started up on the 4th row with our colleague Daniel Coroni on the Daniel row. Which is fine because there's like 19 guys in our series named Daniel. Speaking of which, on the outside is... No, wait, that's Jeremy Burris. Damn. Almost a brilliant
had
segue.
that one, right?
Yes.
Oh, and there's a Corvette that is right behind the McLaren class. Who is that? 77. So Timothy Stoll has fallen well down the field at some point.
Maybe he started from the pits because I don't recall seeing him up front. Did I see him up front? I don't know. I'm not paying that close attention at the time to the start order.
May have. I don't remember calling his name.
Oh, no.
Contact there between Beltran and Hermont going through turn 2, or turn 1 rather. Big mess there as cars try and avoid the spins and recover. I think that was Beltran that was spinning off there, and he's losing the most time.
Car
At least we get to see yeah, exactly, a car coming into the pits, so it's not a complete waste of this shot.
I'm going to assume it's Todd Carver, even though it's not Todd Carver. It's his sister car.
I don't know why. It's trying. What it's trying to do is TV3 for Mike Kelly close racing. So let's pay attention next time it does that. We'll see what it does. If it's always TV3, I can shut off TV3. But anyway, we're going to watch some more close racing here as Leandro Schmidt there in the 48 machine is chasing right on the tail of Brian Carey. As they go through the carousel, Carey entering wide, Leandro entering narrow, and we're not going to follow that through, so I guess he doesn't get by.
We'll have to assume, I guess.
Oh,
there's a pass right there.
Yeah, and he was started on the front row of the Corvettes, just barely took the pole away, I believe. Or not just barely, that was in the McLarens that were separated by 100th. But he did start up there on the front row, and so he's fallen down into 4th. So he's
still
fallen
pretty close there, I think.
It is, yeah. So he's fallen down. And meanwhile, we're focusing on Gralty now. He's running in, where is he, 16th? He's still well down the field trying to fight his way back up.
There's Demas Milana in what looks like a bent rear wing. It's just the way the white on the rear wing is painted. It's, assure you folks, his car is undamaged and fast.
Yeah.
John Kelly's car is off the track and slow, unfortunately, right now, as you saw on the top of the screen.
Yeah, that white decal he has, along with the curvature of that Corvette rear wing, kind of gives it that strange effect. You can see it looks like, who's that? Lauren Bateman very close on his tail as they head down towards turn 5, and Maulana covers the inside to hold on to that position.
There's John Kelly on the inside of Ryan Huff there, so Ryan Huff down a little further than he's been this season, so let's see how he does right now. Oh, that's a shot through the... oh my god, what's that corner's name? Anyways, it's fast.
Turn 7 towards Harry Downs.
Yeah.
Harry Downs, yes. Harry Downs.
No.
Definitely not that.
It's not a corner name. And if it was, I would not want to drive through it. Alright, well, let's just take a small break here, and you can see the crew of the, I guess, is Alex Blau's...
TV3. There's something wrong with TV3.
Yep, and it's just this track, because I haven't noticed it for any of the other places we visited.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just this track.
I'm just going to throw this out here, but I mean, we pay professional pace car drivers here. Why is he angled towards the pit wall?
He's too lazy to fix it. I don't know.
Like he's just drunk is what's going on.
Well, the good news is that TV3 is only picked like, I think 4% of the time.
It's an interesting stat off the top of your head, so...
Well, I'll look at the code. I'll tell you exactly.
TV1. Oh, Alex Blau,
that's
very squirrely going through turn 1. Saves it from barreling into the tire wall on the outside there, but loses a spot there to Lauren Bateman, which drops him down into 6th position. So he's having a bit of trouble this race.
This does look cool.
It does look cool.
I'm not gonna lie. Those McLarens go flying by there. But look, he's got that entire pit lane to come down nice and slow, to park it, to angle it out of the pit lane if he needs to come out. Now he's going to have to do like a 3-point turn, and we're just going to take that cone right out.
Can you actually take those cones out now that they have collidable physics for them?
I don't know. And you know what the funny thing is? Since the new update, I have not touched a cone yet. Oh, and that's Dan Grolty on the inside of Jeremy Burris, and we're seeing Jeremy Burris to the outside of the track. We'll call that... remember AJ Foyt having a rather unfortunate crash back there in 1990, I think, in IndyCar. Basically drove it through the fence there before, well, I don't even know if there was a fence.
Nice. I believe this is the helicopter shot. Yeah, chopper shot of the Corvettes. John Kelly leading that little group there with Ryan Huff just behind.
And Mike Kelly behind them. I don't know what happened to Mike there. Mike was up front, I thought. I'm in trouble figuring out where these Corvette guys go.
Okay, Kevin Savoy now leading the Corvette class.
We should statistically only spend 14% of our time watching that pit lane shot.
Oh, that's a few more percent.
It is.
Yep.
It had a 4 in it.
Yeah, that is correct.
Colin McLean has a great run on Schmidt here, heading down towards Canada Corner.
As the helicopter is entering orbit. Where the hell's it going?
This is the blimp shot.
Okay. I guess that makes more sense.
There's a untextured, well, I guess it's textured, but very lightly textured hill there. As Colin McLean did make the pass, but he's being challenged by Schmidt going back into turn 14 on the front straight, and McLean is off the track.
Little side-to-side contact there. Minimal contact, but just enough. McLean's kind of on the limit there on the outside, and hard to see the positioning of the other car there, but when you're on the limit turning into the corner there, any little upset's going to push you off, at least a car width off, and not put Colin off the edge of the track. Also
lost another spot there to Quaroni, so that drops McLean down into 7th position.
Man, I'm glad we set the bar low for the last Road America broadcast, because otherwise...
Speaking of,
oh, it's Leandro. I was trying to think of who Dan Corona there is. You can see plainly in the screen there who we're following along with, but it looked like one of the other Kaiser cars. Actually, in fact, it looked like Dan's car at first glance, but no, it's Leandro. Thought I was seeing 2 Dan Coronis there, and I was getting scared.
And nothing on his rear wing. Oh, and that is David Scott off there, exiting the carousel.
There's very nice that one.
Oh, and nearly too wide going through the kink there down towards Canada Corner. That was close racing. Scott being off pace as they head down towards Canada Corner, but John Kelly early on the brakes. Still looks like he's able to get squeezes past David Scott there. He's kind of on his back foot trying to recover from that near off exiting the carousel, so he loses a couple spots there.
Yeah, that's a tough corner going down to Canada Corner to pass, just because normally you take the outside end, very early apex, and it opens up. And because it has an early apex, if you come down the inside there, it really throws you to the outside, and it's really hard to get onto the inside on any kind of speed. So good job for John Kelly to, he looked like he broke a little early, but didn't press it all the way down, I guess. A little less severe, and was able to hold the pass. We do have some good action here, folks, as David Scott is going to try to fight back. It was just when I say a little bobble coming out of the carousel, it was holy crap, I'm going to die bobble, but he was able to save it. And looks like he should be able to run with John and Mike and see if he's able to do anything about it. And Lance and Carl.
And it looks like Schmidt is slow down the straight, so I'm guessing he had an off coming out of the final corner. He's going to lose a spot to Snyder. Looks like he'll lose a spot to Carl Mumbauer as well as they make their way to turn 1.
Go! Jeez, look at Carl just super deep there. He almost got to the back of Snyder, and luckily he was able to hold it.
Looks like Qualroni was got a little loose coming off of turn. What is it, 3? I always get these mixed up a little bit as here, oddly named. But McLean looked like he had a great run coming down into turn 5. Qualroni laid on the brakes, but he's taking a really wide line through turn 5, and he loses that position to McLean.
Yeah, well, I saw what happened the last time Colin went too wide through a corner, so thought I'd be careful. Obviously, he was on the outside in that case. Wasn't his fault.
That's very true. And yeah, that is Jerry Morsdorf completing the pass there on the what was essentially the outside. I think he might have been mostly by Jeremy Burris there in the Ford GT by the time they hit the braking, but still well done there. You can see how the Ford GT being a little bit down on top speed is kind of exaggerated here at Road America with the very long straights.
Oh, we got a battle for the lead now, folks. This is going to be a good one. James Collins taking defensive line on the inside here. Russell Cow trying to stick with the draft, see if he can take it on the outside. This is one of those places I'd prefer to be on the outside right now, but because James is going to have to brake a lot sooner coming down.
Well, he's ahead as they enter the... Oh, yes, he has no trouble there on the braking. He's well ahead.
Well, he is ahead, but okay, I guess he held on. Oh, this is a battle. We got Leandro Schmidt coming back. And Carl Mumbauer taking advantage of the draft here to slingshot past Lance Snyder. There are a couple cars behind them, so this McLaren battle is looking pretty fierce.
Mumbauer held back though. He was concerned,
yeah,
I think, about running into Schmidt or something like that, and
fair enough.
He hung back.
Now James Cullen going to be peeking up on the inside, going into turn 5 to try and retake the lead. Not quite close enough to make the pass happen there, but he's just because Kyle was able to get around going into turn 1, it doesn't mean he's all that much faster than Cullen. So those guys, I expect those guys will stay close for the majority of the race. Oh, and Jason Molina very deep on the braking there, a little too deep, because he overshoots, and Joe Jr. there in the Ford GT able to get the cutback.
Speaking of fierce, that Red Bull car there of Russell Cow is that's the angry version of the Red Bull.
I think that's the Toro Rosso version of the Red Bull.
Yes, indeed. I like that one.
This unfortunately should have been a battle between... There we go.
There it is.
Russell Cow and James Cullen unfortunately missed most of it, but with Jeremy Burris, he's obviously got the speed through the corners. Morsdorf got by on that big straight, and Burris really hounding him now.
Yeah, it's the thing. The straightaways are so long here that Burris can use a draft, but I don't think he's ever going to get close enough to actually make the pass. But well, I say you never know, but I guess we won't know right now.
It looked like he pulled out as they were making their way about halfway towards Canada Corner, but I think that is really when the McLaren really starts to pull away from the Ford GTs. It's right around fourth gear that they start making a lot of the gains, so that's right about the time that they hit that, or well, I guess it'd be about fifth or sixth gear there, but nevertheless they're still faster down the long straight, so not going to happen there. Oh, here's a nice battle here. Who is that? It's a little bit too far away for me to see. That looks like Lance Snyder and Carl Mumbauer.
Yep.
And we've also got one of those gray cars. Oh yeah, that's who it is. Yep. Those guys are fighting for 10th, 11th, and 12th.
There's a lot of pickup trucks in the paddock as well. That's, I guess how you get those trailers around, but there's, I don't remember who that was. I think Demas, and that looks like
probably Kevin Swan, Ted Carver. There's Demas.
There's Lauren.
Yep.
There's Alex Blau. And here's Russell Cow and James Cullen. That'd be boys battle for the lead here in McLaren's. Man, that looks fast when they're just whipping through the straightaway, quote unquote, down towards Canada Corner.
And back a little bit further in the McLaren class, looks like Boldrin has been able to move himself up a position past Carl Mumbauer and has set Lance Snyder in his sights next, holding on to a 10th position. Ooh, gets really close under braking for Canada Corner. I think he avoided contact, but it was quite close. So we take a look at that big hill once again. Seems a little bit more than 14% to me.
Yeah, I'm not too happy, but I did scan through. It seemed like we spent most of the time not watching this. But now I know what the problem is.
And we get back to the action without too much of delay, just in time to actually see Boldrin making a pass attempt on Snyder as they make their way into turn 1. And he gets it done as long as he manages to keep it on the track on the way out. He does. And so that moves Boldrin up into 10th position. I also see Mumbauer, Briles, and Gralti very close behind there as well. So pretty tight battle for the last of the top 10 spots in the McLaren class. And Jason Molina going to give it another go on the inside of Joe Jr. into turn 5. Better under braking this time, doesn't wildly overshoot like the last time we saw, and this time Molina is able to hold it and take that position away from Jr.
It's like one of those web camera shots where you want to go on and like see what it's like in like say like downtown Cleveland or whatever, and just check the weather. That's what that reminds me of. Not that this looks like downtown Cleveland anyway. I don't know why I picked Cleveland, but
yeah, that's a bit of an odd city.
Because Cleveland rocks.
It does indeed. Hey, Joe Jr., we're on board with Joe Jr. This doesn't happen very often because normally he doesn't join in time to get a camera assignment. So well done there. It's Jason Molina up ahead, and that.
Go back to the static circuit cam that you see a few times when the longer endurance races. Oh, look at there's a fight for the.
That was a lead right there.
That was the lead. Yeah, I think it was.
There's
so that was cool to see.
Behind. And here
There's
I am.
Brian Carey.
Yeah.
Jumped just on time on board with Russell Cowell to see side-by-side action going through turn 1. And James Cullen should finish the pass here going into turn 3. He gets a great run coming out of the corner though. Cullen overshoots just a bit, and you can see he's down on the top speed heading down towards turn 5. Cowell's going to be on the outside, but he has much more speed going down that long straight. Cullen actually started to pull back a little bit, but ooh, and he late on the brakes, using all the curb and then some on the outside there of turn 5, but eventually going to have to succeed the position to James Cullen, although he didn't make that easy for him. Oh, Alex Blau in the wall somewhere. Where is this? Turn, what is that, 13.
Unlike the trees, the texture quality in those concrete walls there is fantastic.
See if he makes a dive for the pits. Yeah, it looks like he's got some suspension damage. Yeah, and pulls for the pit lane. And we'll have to see if he retires that car or if it is indeed repairable. three-way battle here in GT3 between Molina Jr. and I believe that is Boldrin. Yes, it is indeed. They are fighting for 7th. And actually, there's Schmidt just in front for 6th. He's about 2 seconds in front of these guys. So close battling here in the GT3 category. Boldrin has a nice run on Junior heading down towards Canada corner. He's got the inside, and you can see it looks like Junior's going to give that position to him without much of a fight. Boldrin had the better top speed heading down into the corner. So that moves him up into 8th position, which is quite a good race for him so far because he started well down the order. And not sure what happened to Gralty in the early stages of the race, but he's currently running in 12th position, so he's slowly working his way back up the GT3 running order.
I mean, that's a lot of curb you can take there into turn 1, so we had Jason Millett, even though he had his wheels in the curb, it looked like he was still offline compared to Adoljan, who was able to put his wheels right on top of the curb, right on the edge of the grass there, and get a much shallower angle around turn 1, much higher speed. Now, Dan Gralty, you do not want him to put on the toe hold.
And Sandy's going to take a defensive spot there going into turns 5 and moves back over to the outside when Gralty isn't able to get alongside. So he's holding on to that 10th position so far, and he's actually done quite a good job of keeping that last top 10 spot. I think he's had it for the majority of this race so far. So a long way to go, but let's see if Gralty is able to get by. Gralty gets a great run coming out of turn 8, but nothing he can really do with it. Like we've seen a few guys attempt in the earlier parts of the race. Very hard to make a pass going through the carousel. Victor Beltran, meanwhile, gets a pass done on Jerry Mooresdorf going through turn 8. Moves him up into 13th position.
Well, that was a Marty Jeffries there. Very, very slow run there. Is that the... okay. Actually, where are we? Was that between turn 5 and 6?
No, this is hurry downs right there. They just made their way through turn 8, so that was turn 7.
Anyway, slow through there, and Chuck Chandler's able to get a good run.
And Gralty's getting a good run here going down towards turn 1 using the draft. Pulling to the right side. I think he's going to be alongside. Yep, there he is. And he is better under braking. And moves himself into the last of the top 10 positions. Just a bit further up the road, Boldrin is pressuring Molina here, heading down towards turn 5, pulls to the inside, but both of them fairly equal under braking, but I think Molina was able to get the better exit coming off of turn 5, so he's going to hold on to that position for now. Top of the GT3 field here is still a battle between James Cullen and Russell Cow. Corey Davis, meanwhile, also keeping those two leaders honest and sticking pretty close behind, whereas he's about just a second off Russell Cow, so he's keeping with those guys nicely.
Check out that. Oh, good. That didn't take long.
Whoa!
Oh!
No! Holy gee! Oh, he's still on. He's lost the position though. Wow! Do not pass going into the kink, kids at home. Do not try that.
Yeah, risky stuff there for those two guys to force the issue there, but Boldrin pushed his car through, and good job by Molina to hold on I think he had all 4 tires on the little bit of grass there that is separating you from instant death.
Or at least battered pride.
One of the two.
Not sure which one's worse, but
Cullen a bit slow off of turn 3. He's going to hold the inside, be defensive towards turn 5. Russell Cow taking a very, very wide line. You are allowed to use all of that runoff there on the outside of turn 5. Able to keep it side by side with Cullen through turn 5, but as they made their way to turn 6, pretty difficult to stay side by side. But meanwhile, I can see Corey Davis is caught right up to the back of these guys with all of their battling. So basically, we have a 3-way battle now.
we did. I mean, it's still there, but just not for the public consumption. It's become a private battle.
Be taking a look at Brent Browse and Lance Snyder, I think, here in just a moment once we cut off of the circuit cam. I think we will.
4 seconds. Oh, wait. No, there we are. Perfect.
Yeah, the timer doesn't do camera changes. It just does battle changes. I do like Joe's 4G. I didn't realize he was in the 4GT for this race, but it's a nice looking car there. The Radical Steel Series, not the usual black and red one, so I like the change there.
It's more interesting than the usual million Radical paint schemes we see.
Yeah, they're everywhere. You can't shake a...
Yeah.
I don't know what the metaphor is, but...
I know what you mean.
Yes.
And now all the work Junior did to close the gap up to Molina, you can see it drops back a little bit as they make their way down that long straight. And on board now with Daniel Gralty. He's got himself up into the top 10, and he has 2 more cars in his sights. And actually, I think he's got Boldrin just a bit up the road as well. So we're going to actually have to look and see where he qualified to see how far down the field or the class he fell. But he's doing a pretty nice job recovering. Also, I should point out that Boldrin is having a nice job climbing his way up the GT3 field because he started quite well down the order. Oh, and looks like Joe Jr.'s letting Gralty by without much of a challenge. Actually, I heard him lift a little bit there before they hit the braking zone.
Well, there's a big gaggle of cars right there heading down towards turn 5. So we got Chad Carver coming by there to in second place. Here you see Kevin Swap ahead in the red and white car. Braking capability going into turn 5 of the Corvette, not nearly as efficient as that McLaren. You saw what happened there as Jason Molina got held up a little bit on turn-in, and whoever that was behind him.
Gralty.
Is it? Yep, Gralty. Excuse me, just a bad hiccup there. Got by.
Yep, good use of traffic there by Gralty. Brian pointed out the braking capacity that these cars have is quite different, and at the end of those long straightaways, it kind of really shows just how much later the McLaren can brake compared to the Corvette. So good use of the Corvette coming through there. That moves Gralty up another spot. Both of those guys using as much of the track and even a little bit more than the track, trying to get all the speed they can. They probably lost a little bit of speed there with that, but I think both of them did it, so no advantages gained between either of those drivers.
That's a good shot off of the back of James Collins' car there. The battle behind him. It's top 3 within a second, so that's always good to see. Holy moly, okay. He's going to get passed.
Yep.
Probably by both of them. Definitely by Russell.
Corey Davis may have done a similar thing too, because he's dropped back a little bit down the straight.
Or
even
just
with
decided
that
not to
oversteer.
realize that him and James and Russell would be battling it out hard, not want to stick his nose in there yet. Especially when these guys have been passing each other back and forth so much. Corey kind of catching onto the tail end of that, mainly due to the battle, might not want to get involved on the off chance that those two, during their close battling, will take themselves out and he will inherit the lead. So we'll see how it goes there. And that's a really cool shot of turn 3 there, coming down the stretch there. That's... We were in the blimp now, I think. Well, it said chopper. It says chopper on the screen. I get really confused. Pretty sure it is the blimp.
Yeah, the chopper is the blimp. TB3 is the...
No,
Oh,
Andrew.
and the end of Schmidt into the wall.
Not the end of him.
No, maybe not.
I'm
It's
sure he's
that
fine,
doesn't
folks.
Yeah,
Don't
that's the
worry.
end of him.
The end of Schmidt in this race, because as you can see, it looks like car is crabbing a bit as they make his way towards turn 7. They definitely probably should slow his car down.
You can drive it, guys. It's okay.
Still good, just a little wet.
And he is all... Oh, and he's holding up Molina there. Molina is going to get involved. Yeah, that's why I said you should probably slow down and pull off to the side there. Nearly involves another driver. I believe that's Brent Briles there in the Ford GT. And I'm not sure the damage on Molina's car looks to be okay. I'll have to, looks like, and seems to be pointing straight from what I can tell, but
that's a
definitely
pretty
not
light
something
hit.
you want to be involved in regardless.
Good shot of the porta potty in the back straight there. They got right in there. Just came into perfect focus.
We're checking out the important parts of this race. What can I say?
Okay.
You
So
have to
there's
pay
3 of
extra to
us.
use that one
Oh,
because it's
Cullen's
so
going on
close.
the outside. He's got the draft. He's got the speed.
Does he have
But
the
he's not
balls?
got it by the braking zone. He's taking the
No.
nice big Y line. It's not going to happen, though. No, it's
No.
not.
He's
Oh,
gonna be
maybe.
able to keep it
but
alongside,
he's still on the
that's-
outside.
yeah, he's on the outside here.
He was Roman Grosjean. He'd get a penalty for that if he made the pass. Still can't believe Roman Grosjean, if anyone watched the Hungarian Grand Prix, which was a few weeks ago, made a ridiculous outside pass on Felipe Massa, but had it taken away because he put wheels over the white line, even though he didn't die while doing the pass, which I thought was kind of an unjust penalty, but by the book, I assume.
Yeah, but we can't change the rules based on how cool something is.
Well, have you watched Formula One for as long as I have? You know that's not true.
Well, let me rephrase that. You shouldn't.
Yes. That being said, I think that rule, remember when Vettel got the penalty in Germany last year on pass on button, which I think was one of those things that should be clarified in that regard. Oh, and there's Beltran, it looked like, off the road.
I'm not sure if he's off because of damage or if he was just off letting the leaders through.
Yeah, he's dead way down, isn't he?
Well, there's Beltran in the pit, so we'll take a look and see if he escapes out. Let's go back to Jason Molina. So he's been able to continue after that contact with, who was that in the McLaren's? Name escapes me for some reason.
Which one? Alright, well, we got 35 minutes down, 35 minutes to go. We should start seeing pit stops.
Schmidt, that's who it was. And yes, we should, about halfway through the race now, or a little bit more than that. So, anytime now we should expect to see... I don't think we saw anybody pitting early as part of a strategy, possibly because of damage or something like that. So, regular pit stops should be occurring now. It looks like we have a taker here in the Corvette. Might be Chuck Chambliss, I think. A little bit far away, but that's what it looks like.
Oh, we got Mike Kelly into the pits right now, so... I gotta say that it's Chuck Chambliss and Mike Kelly in behind him. Going down to Canada corner there. A little offline there, a little off the outside curb, so no on board James Cullen as he's chasing down Russell Cow. All these guys within the draft of each other now, the top 3 within 1.5 seconds of each other.
Yep, they finally separated just a little bit now, about 0.6 of a second between Cow and Cullen, and about 0.8 of a second between, or 0.7 of a second between Cullen and Davis. So not quite nose to tail like we saw earlier, although it looks like Cullen may be trying to change that as he makes their way through turn 1. But racing with a little bit less intensity right now.
I know I've probably mentioned it before, but I still think the McLaren here is one of the coolest looking cars on we have in the service on iRacing here. It's just I mean, the car itself is fine, but the GT3 version of it is just, you know, cleaned up nicely for the racing side of things. It's not too much put on it. It's just a very solid looking car. I'm not a fan of the Corvette or the Ford GT, or that Mustang for that matter. I think it's gross.
Yeah, even the GT trim Mustang couldn't save that particular body style.
I was gonna make another joke about people who drive Mustangs, but that might have been out of line.
Oh, you can joke about that one as much as you want. I hate that style.
No, I was gonna make a crack with the people that own them. Mustangs in general.
Okay.
No one here owns a Mustang, do they? Oh wait.
Do they?
Really don't know where I'm going with this. Anthony has a Mustang.
Oh, he does?
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
I see.
2001. So that's why I said it was okay to make fun of that style, because I don't like that one either.
So you've been taking the mickey out of him. Oh, that
Not very
was
successfully.
close.
Oh, that was Lance Snyder coming out of the pits, and Carl Mumbar, who had already pitted.
Yeah, he pitted a bit early. I think he might have pitted with roughly 40 minutes left in the race, and got the jump on Lance Snyder, and actually gained quite a bit of distance because he had dropped back a little bit from those guys. So well done there, Carl, for doing good pit strategy. There's Corey Davis into the pits, so he is the first of the top 3 to make a pit stop. And it looks like he will only drop down to 5th place with that pit stop. So that is just an example of how, well, he looks like he dropped a few more here. I kind of guess I missed the gap on here, or the gap is a little bit inaccurate when they're in the pits. But that is an example of just how much of, or what kind of pace the leaders are on, because they're quite far ahead. As they're, now he's going to be exiting, and looks like he may drop another one to Joe Jr. there. So so he drops to 8th. Or 9th, rather. Brent Browse also there with Joe Jr. battling, so another car I missed. And Daniel Gralti and Doljan Boldrin. I don't know, both names start with D, I guess that's why. Both these guys battling their way back up from the rear of the GT3 field. They're currently running 5th and 6th, although just a little bit elevated because of Davis's pit stop. You can see him right here. Oh, we were seeing him right there on screen. So he was with Brent Browse, I think. And Boldrin messes up his turn number 8 and loses the spot to Gralti, so that moves him up into 5th position.
Pit stop by Corey Davis dropping down to 8th, which is quite a long distance, so that's kind of just an idea how close everyone is here at Road America. But
well, it's only about halfway down the field. I think there are 16 cars in the class.
yeah, but I was always finding too that, at least from my experience, pitting from near the front, probably because of pitting later too, but only dropping down, a few places. Sometimes just about the field would spread out a little bit. You'd have kind of clusters of cars. Whereas here, that was a pretty, maybe it was a pretty big jump. I don't know. I'm trying to add some interest into the race here. I'll have a repeat of last time. It was definitely more interesting this time. And Daniel Verness trying to hustle that Ford GT around. All three cars there on track for half a second, but back to here.
Who is this? Lance Snyder exiting. Oh no, that is Russell Cow exiting the pits, and I think Corey Davis was. It was going to be a race between himself and Davis as he was exiting the pits. Who is in front? Looks like Corey Davis was able to get in front of Russell Cow in the pit lane, so he gained probably about 2 seconds by pitting that lap early over Russell Cow. Even getting held up a bit behind Brent Briles, who he wasn't technically racing at the time. So looks like his strategy is working out fairly well. James Cullen still out on track, hasn't made his pit stop yet. We'll have to see where he comes out after his pit stop. Top two cars in DTU1, Kevin Sawa and Todd Carver, both into the pit lane right now. We haven't seen, I don't think we've seen them. Well, maybe we've seen them once or twice this race, but
We also stick with the shot right now, but we're not gonna.
Nope.
Right, no.
Back to Russell Cow. Oh, looks he's
James
lost
Cullen
his.
pits too.
Have to see what happens there when these guys are coming up. Russell Cow lost a spot there to Joe Jr. It must have been when he was
Corey Davis is
exiting
up
the pits.
ahead.
Yep. That's why I said if you must not have been listening to me.
No, I apparently missed that. I was too excited. I'm trying to figure out where the pit stops are.
I went through a whole little spiel about how Davis gained about 2 seconds by pitting a lap early in front of Russell Cow.
So we're using the same brain. But not at all. Whatever the opposite of that is. There we go. There's a pit stop with Kevin Sawa.
Ooh, and I think Cullen might get out in front of those two guys. Yep, you can see he's already just about down to the pit limiter.
Oh, but they're at speed.
Ooh, it's going to be close. He's going to be racing. On board with Cullen right now. Oh, and Davis on the outside. Turn one. Holds on to it. Can he defend the position? Cullen gets a better run out of the corner. He's going to be challenging on the inside going through turn 3. Briefly pulls ahead. They're still side by side. We'll have to see who has the better speed down the straight.
I just realized Colin was in the pit 6 seconds less than I was. It's a huge difference.
Corey Davis is shown slightly ahead. There he is in the mirror. He's on the inside. Cullen ahead under braking, but has to take the outside line. He's flipping between first and second.
Yeah. Davis is going to try and throw it up on the inside going into turn 4. Ooh, gives a lot of room to Cullen there, and that's going to be enough for him to get the run. Oh, and he's going to lose a spot there.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
Oh, back to status quo, unfortunately. It was a exciting lap and pit exit for sure. Let's see if Lauren Bateman here. I should mention the Corvettes are not great under brakes. Hopefully Lauren can get it far enough ahead to not, but no, I don't think he did. I think he's going to kind of cut Corey Davis' speed just a little bit right there, but might end up doing the same thing to Russell Cow and James Cullen up ahead. We will see. Although there is a long straightaway coming, so Lauren's probably just going to drive past both of those there, and hopefully Corey can get onto his coattails and drive along, but no matter. We've got Lance Snyder in 10th place, chasing down Carl Mumbauer in 9th.
Mumbauer, a lot of understeer going through the carousel there. Back up with the top 3 in GT3, separated by roughly 2 seconds now. Look at Lauren Bateman just now starting to get his pass done on James Cullen, so took him quite a ways. I guess he didn't make the pass on Russell Cow through 14, waited until he got on the straight, kind of lost his momentum, so it took all of the whole front straight to get past Russell Cow, and had to wait until the second long straight to get done. So that battle is a little bit split up, but hopefully they close back down once again. There's a 3-way battle in GT3 as well. Focusing on Molina right now in the McLaren MP412C, but just in front is Daniel Verness and Victor Beltran, and these guys fighting for 12th and 11th. Looks like 11th might go to Verness now. Yes, it does. And looks like Beltran's also going to give up the 12th position to Molina, so that moves him up another spot. Or maybe not, because Beltran is a lap down. So forget everything I was just saying. Molina's still in 13th position, Verness in 12th. Oh, I think Beltran just about copied what Jason Molina did there through turn 5.
Yeah, you tend to do that following behind someone, don't you?
Yeah. If they outbrake themselves just a little bit, you tend to outbrake them yourself, trying to follow their braking pattern. And
well, Corey's hanging on. He's doing a good job there. He's only 2 seconds back of the leader and 1 second back of Russell Cow, but now that all the shenanigans of the first half of the race, it's down to business after that for the one and only set of pit stops. So this is a straight fight to the end for, I believe, everyone. It's actually Dave Scott's in the pits right now, just exiting the pits. So I think that's the last of the main runners in both classes there.
And Todd Carver now over 14 seconds in front of Kevin Savoy, who when they pitted, they were roughly 1.5 seconds separating those two, with Savoy in the lead. So I'm not sure what happened there. I'm guessing Savoy had some sort of incident on track and lost a good deal of time. So Todd Carver now leading that class.
Now, if I sound like I'm distracted the next few minutes here, it's because I have a new cat that's now using my microphone as a scratching post.
And Brent Brile is just behind Lance Snyder, trying to see if he can't pick up the last of the top 10 spots. Somehow, once again, Lance Snyder, after pit stops, has managed to get himself up into the top 10. So good job there, Lance. But he's got Briles just behind him. He's in fact right on his gearbox, and then Verness is about 5.5 seconds back from this battle here. So have to see how that plays out. We know that the Ford GT a little bit disadvantaged here. Oh, and mistake there by Russell Cow through the final corner. Loses some momentum down the straight. He's taken the inside line there, and Corey Davis has got some good speed heading down towards turn 1. Let's see if he can, if it's enough to make a pass on the outside.
Well, it's a tough one to hold. He's got the run though, but now Russell's got the inside for turn 3, which is kind of like turn 2, but not really. And well, Corey's got the position for now. Probably for the rest of that straightaway, because Russell just killed his exit speed.
Yep, another mistake there on the exits. And Draft definitely helping him close the gap up to Davis. A little bit more than I Yeah, I thought it would, but he holds on to that position. Actually, with their little passing battle there, Cullen able to pull up about another second on these two guys, so he's 3 seconds in front of Davis. And back with Snyder and Briles as they fight over the last of the top 10 spots. Briles taking a little bit of a peek. Ooh, he gets very close to the gearbox. Snyder going through turn 1. Loses a little bit of his momentum there, but Carl Mumbauer, meanwhile, has managed to do a good job holding on to that 9th position. Oh, and Russell Cow off the track there going through the kink. What is that, turn 11? And loses about half a second or so to Corey Davis. So Russell Kyle making some mistakes here late in the race, only 18 minutes left. So remember earlier in the race how close he was sticking with James Cullen. And these little bit of mistakes here may cost him that 2nd place position. Corey Davis seems to do quite well of running a very clean race and not make any mistakes for the most part. So, have to see how that plays out. Yeah.
Hopefully we will stick with this for a little while here and not go to TV3. But after that initial little battle there, like he's in the draft, and even when he made the mistake, it looked like he was closing up more than he is now. Actually, no, as I say that, he's gone to the inside, and he's going to go for it, and Corey's not going to risk too much trying to defend that position and gives up position, but I said position a lot there, and now we're going to... I'll just keep saying position over and over again. But anyways, we'll give Corey a chance to fight back later if he's got the car. We still got 17 minutes left on the clock. Just ticked over right now.
And Briles has a good run on Snyder here going as they just cross the timing line. Snyder taking a defensive position on the track, holding the right side. And Briles wasn't quite that close enough to... Ooh, I say that.
Nice.
Super late on the brakes. Four-wheel drifts it through turn 1. I think he probably has the position here. Snyder tries to brake as late as he can. As long as Briles gets a decent run coming out of turn 3. Ooh, doesn't get quite as good as Lance Snyder. So it's going to be a drag race down to turn 5.
This is great action right here. Very clean racing. Brent Briles getting a big whack oversteer on the outside of turn 1, holding on, and they are still battling somewhere in the woods there. And yeah, I don't know what happened because looks like Dolgen Boldrin is off the track.
And Briles holds on to that position through turn 5, so he takes 10th away from Lance Snyder.
There's Cullen.
Yep.
And a whole whack of cars. Love the sound of that Corvette driving by in that camera there.
See, the camera shot is worth something.
I just wish he was on the a little closer to the action, but it's like you're in the stands watching the race.
There we go, back to the battle. Well, a battle. Quickly to the battle for 3rd place in GT3, now a battle for 7th in GT3. Doe Jr. holding on to that position currently, but Boldrin is fighting to take that back after some sort of off towards the final sector of Road America. It's a nice run coming off of turn 3, and this should be job done as they make their way towards turn 5. And yeah, he's got the speed, and he's already back around and just about on the racing line going into the braking zone. So that moves him back up into 7th. He's battling the Corvette, so we haven't seen a whole lot of action in GT1 this race. This is a fight between a fight between Jeffries and Kelly. It's no longer a fight because Kelly goes by into 6th position.
That's big news for Kelly because it means he's going to get knocked down out of his first place standing.
Yes, that's right. Came into this race leading by 2 points over Todd Carver. Todd Carver, meanwhile, leading GT1 by a very healthy 10 seconds over Kevin Savoie. So Todd Carver, bearing any last-minute craziness on his part, should be taking the lead for GT1. Oh, there goes Brian Carey again past our circuit cam. Seems like every time we go to this camera, we see Brian driving by.
So I do drive-by cameras. And like lots of other stuff too, but
I think they call those people posers.
Oh, Davis, a mistake into turn 5. Loses some ground there on Russell Cow.
sorry, I was actually laughing off camera, but
Hey, that actually made a nice cut.
TV3 works for once. Good job.
Yeah.
Good for you, TV3 camera guy.
yay!
I'm going to stick with Jason Molina here. He's... Oh, Daniel Vaness. Will he hold on?
Oh.
No! That hurt.
Wow, that looked familiar. Seen that sort of camera view before.
I think that's the second time that has happened to Molina this race, and his car somehow comes out of that without seemingly too much damage.
I don't know how you pulled that off. That one looked hard.
Guess as long as you don't hit it at an angle, if you hit it perfectly square, you should be fine.
I guess he's just lucky that he's not driving a Porsche GT3 car because of all the radiators that are in the nose of that car.
Speaking of which, it appears that we just may have a Porsche-like GT3 car in that racing soon. They had the license to do the rough, but apparently they're going to do 3 variants of it, and I don't know if they'll basically do a variant that will make it like the GT3, but that would be actually pretty awesome. Because I believe the Porsche GT3 is probably the most driven racing car in the world.
Yep, I would agree with that. In GT3 spec, though, I think the Ferrari 458 might rival that.
Well, I just think the Porsche 911 GT3 is it's been around forever. Like, I mean, as long as I can remember, there's been a Porsche GT3 somewhere.
Oh, yes. In total, definitely.
Yeah, I'd be like, the Ferrari would be a good pick too. It's just like one of those things. If you ever want to have a dream of, you get a lot of money and you want to go racing in real life in a, amateur professional capacity, like an endurance race somewhere, the Porsche GT3 was always one of those good options to consider, just because it'd be so cheap. There's so many parts around.
It's definitely cheap to buy that $150,000 car
to go racing.
Relatively speaking, it's cheap.
Sliding scale here, guys. Considering you can take that basic.
Just buy a Miata.
Yeah, if you want to go racing faster, buy other things.
If you want to go over 100 miles an hour, buy a different car.
Yeah, that's true.
Like there's electric bicycles that are becoming very popular.
Or you could buy a Miata and go, I don't know, what, 60 miles an hour through every corner. You can't go much faster than that, but through every corner you can go flat out.
Well, if you don't care about being spec, you could supercharge it, and those guys actually get pretty fast.
That'd probably be fun. Here's the thing with all that. I would never, turn down a drive on a... What is this? Wait, who is that?
Jason Molina?
No.
Oh, no, Victor Beltran. Excuse me.
Yes.
I thought that was a turn one hero car for a second, so I thought that might have been James, but I honestly don't remember what happened in this race. I'm just happy to see that I'm still in it.
And it looks like you can buy a Porsche 997 GT3 spec, the most current year, for $106,000 US.
It's not bad.
Used?
No, new.
Oh, that's it? Wow.
Yeah.
All the support parts for it is what costs all the money too.
Yeah. The team, and the if you have to buy their yearly upgrade package or whatever is what kind of where the big costs come in.
Because you get all the tires that you need, the spare parts,
Well, depending on the race series you're in, you can have the tires supplied to you. So.
Yeah, but that's not free.
Well, it's cheaper than just going out and buying them.
Well, that's one thing that when I actually race karts, I raced in the Rotax Max series, which I do again because I'm actually eligible for Masters next year, but that makes me sad. But you're able to buy basically spec engine, a really fast engine, but you're not allowed to do anything to it, which is good because I don't know how to tune an engine, and also the tires are spec too, so you don't. You gotta know what you're getting into on both those things, and really all you're responsible for is a chassis and making the thing go, which is pretty attractive prospect for someone who would want to race and just do it. And I imagine it'd be somewhat similar for a lot of these like Porsche series. The Ferrari Challenge actually would be a good one because here in Canada, at least anyway, they support both the Toronto Indy and the Canadian Grand Prix. Wouldn't mind getting on the track during those weekends, or driving a Ferrari for that matter. Actually look very similar to these McLarens here.
Yes, they would. If you would rather have a BMW Z4 GT3, which would be the same class as the Mumbauer in the pit. So it looks like he pitted a bit too early and not able to make it on fuel, unfortunately. So
poor silly girl.
His brilliant strategy I thought he had didn't exactly work out for him.
So anyways, that BMW that we're buying.
Yes, so that would be racing along with the Porsches. That will cost you around $400,000.
I still like BMW better.
Well, yeah, I do too. I would prefer that car, and it's been more successful against the GT3 Porsches, so it's a lot more money, but I guess the car perform a little bit better in the GT3 spec.
It's all about what you have and what you don't have, and right now I don't have nearly enough for either one of those cars. I was considering stealing a Formula 1 car yesterday, but I suspected that the engine probably wasn't connected to anything, or even possibly there'd be no engine in the car.
Might be a bit hard to get that to your house.
Honestly, I could literally probably push it there, like, with a reasonable amount of effort, and probably...
Oh yeah, you could. You'd have a whole posse, like, slowly driving behind you asking to have the car back, but you could do it.
Yeah. I'm just saying that the dealership was literally like I don't know, about 2 kilometers from my house.
Oh, and Corey Davis putting an attack here late in the stages of this race on Russell Cow. Just barely on the inside, going to try and get the outbraking done. Couldn't
He's having a
quite
mental
get
battle
it
with
done
himself
there.
right now. That was a good aggressive move there. We still got 4 minutes left, but it looks like he has the chance. I think with this draft here, it's almost like an old race. You want to make the person who makes the pass in the last lap wins. So if Corey's got the speed to make a pass, maybe he's going to hold back and try again later. But I mean, I guess always better make a pass sooner rather than later. But don't really know where I'm going with all this, with all these uhs and whats. But it will be a interesting last couple laps. And Chuck Chambliss is still in a battle with Mike Kelly there. He's got 5 seconds, so he's trying to hustle things along. And he got Russell on the outside. Oh, look at this. Traffic. This is why multi-class racing is fun, boys.
Yep, it really helped you close the gap between Cow and Davis. And let's see if Corey can get a great run off of the final corner and try another great move on the outside of Russell Cow, like he did with Mr. Cohen. Doesn't seem to be gaining as much as he needs to. Starting to a little bit now as they get closer to the braking zone. So not going to be able to do anything there. I wonder if might be running his wing a couple clicks higher. That could help to negate some of the drafting effect that you get. Doesn't really hurt all that much if it's only a click. But if you get to be 2 or 3 clicks higher than the guy you're chasing, it can start to affect you. That said, the draft seems to be working a little bit better here going down towards turn 5. And Dave is going to try and find some room for his car. That's, I believe, Mike Kelly there on the outside. That might have been why Davis wasn't able to pull along to the outside to try and go around Russell Cow. 2 minutes left, so they should have 1 more lap after this.
This track's so hard to get the gas going.
Yeah.
Just can't quite do it. No, come on. Zoom! Look at those cars go. Actually, that was a battle right there. I think that was Lance and Brent are not too far apart. About 0.7 of a second. Alright, so folks, there. Wait, no.
No.
Okay. Well, there's that other
The other battle we
we
just
saw.
Yeah. Yep. And still very close between Cow and Davis, too. We're not watching them right now, but just to keep you updated on that, they're still very close. Oh, speaking of which, Davis has a nice run this time as they make their way over the timing line. And he's going to be well alongside. Oh, but Russell Cow so much better under braking there and able to hold on to that position. Wow. I feel like Davis was a little bit too cautious there. Could have, since we're down to the last couple laps of this race, could have held it a little bit longer to kind of push Russell Cow a little bit wide. Try and get the pass there. You can see he's not going to be close enough. He's going to take a look up on the inside, but Russell Cow well ahead there. Unless he makes a mistake on the exit.
We'll let Anthony do the talking. I'll just make the guttural noises.
I can't believe we cut away, but I guess these guys are very close. Lance Slater on the inside, looking for a spot. Oh, I think he's got it. He has. Nice.
Yeah, that was well done. Yeah, that was well done. He was right there on the inside. I think he kind of pressured Brent a little bit wide there. Kind of caught the dirt, couldn't get all the power down. And that was well done there to take that position away at the final stages of this race. Not sure if they have another lap or not, but
because it's based off the
Either
Corvette leader, so it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to... Who the hell knows where Todd is, because we don't get to see him anymore.
Well, Lance, I'm proud of you. That is exactly the kind of racing I wanted to see from you. Because you'll remember, I don't remember if it was this season or last season, but I said, we're always seeing Lance, and he's in these close battles, but all he's doing is close racing. He's not going for it. Oh no! Is Jason Molina finally maybe seeing some pain from all the accidents he's had? Not his accidents, all the accidental run-ins he's had. But anyway,
He's had a
good job,
race.
Lance, because that's what I wanted to see from you. That was racy. That was good.
You've earned Dan's approval, Lance. Congratulations.
And I think these guys have one more lap
Nice.
because...
Whoa!
Ooh, cut over there for Russell Cal trying to take the draft away.
Of course,
And Davis, you need to be super late on the brakes here. Didn't do it again this time. He's a little bit better than he did last time, though. And he's still alongside as they make their way down towards turn 3. Although Russell Cal gets the better exit, and he's better under brakes again. So Davis going to have to slot in behind, try and get a good exit coming out the corner here. And not using all the track there, but he's still very close coming down towards the turn 5 braking zone. And he's going to be on the inside. Let's see if he can get this done.
Todd Carver has won, so that's the end of that race. Kevin Swa second. Let's see what happens here. He's got the inside, but Russell's shown he can drive around the outside.
Oh, Davis, you need to take a little more track there. He gives him a lot of room. And let's see if he can keep it up on the inside. Oh, he gets it this time. Oh, but he goes sideways, loses the car there, and that's going to be that decided.
Oh, I just realized how close I came to a podium.
17 seconds, so sort
Well,
of.
had they run into each other as well.
Oh, yes, I see what you mean.
And there's James Cullen, I think.
No, it's not. That's
No?
Victor Beltran.
Victor Beltran again.
Damn it! Got so
The
excited.
orange. The orange is the key.
But why
Yep.
were Victor's not even... That's fine.
Finished.
Yeah, that's good. Congratulations.
Well, there's nothing like... Well, Carmen Bauer's a little bit close to Joe Moore's
And then
there.
tip of the hat to Lance.
He now has Dan's approval, so he got a top 10 position and approval, so that's a win-win this race.
Top 8.
Malmbauer
Snowman.
there has a... I don't know, I thought he might have a chance to get 9th here away from Mooresdorf, but just holds on to that one, so good job you two guys finishing in the top 10. Looks like James Cullen just now crosses the start-finish line.
Yeah, with Russell Cow, unfortunately, 10 side errors, Russell. And, was that Corey right behind?
Yep.
Oh, it was. He'd run out of fuel. Russell Cow run out of fuel coming across the line. Corey, who was in the last lap, was about 7 seconds behind him and caught right up to his tail.
Well, after all that, as we said, Mike Kelly gets knocked down a run. Todd Carver taking the lead in the Corvettes. Warren Bateman now on the 3rd spot. Ryan Huff in the 4th, John Coos in 5th, David Scott and Alex Bilbao tied there for 5th, Kevin Savoy just 1 point down from them, and Chuck Chambliss 3 points down from them. And meanwhile in GT3, James Cullen looks pretty perfect with 100 points, and Brian Carey, meanwhile, grabbed 2nd spot from teammate Anthony Muniz.
What?
And Daniel Gralti ups his position there. So Anthony Muniz down 2 spots ultimately there. But it's all still very close.
Sorry.
I shall have my revenge later this season.
Indeed. Time for some kung fu.
All right, well, that turned out to be a much better Road America than the last one. But it helped that, half the field wasn't taken out in the first, green flag straightaway. So that lent itself to a lot more close racing. All right, well, we're on to Twin Rig Motegi, and that is going to be at night. And then over to Barber. Oh, come on, you can do it. Oh, you didn't do it. I thought I was going to drift it. A long one, an Enduro at Interlagos, then Mo Sport, and then finally the season finale at Mid-Ohio. All right, well, let's see if James Cullen decides to stop. Nope, we're not going to watch him. Forget about James Cullen. He doesn't get a chance to do donuts. All right, well, that was a nice win once again for him. Thank you, guys. Anthony Muniz and James Cullen. Oh, my God. Brian Carey for your announcing. To our racers and admins who make everything possible here at ISRA League. Hey, thanks to you, our viewers, for watching, and why aren't you racing with us? Come on down, israleague.com.
Yep, season 12 is going to be starting soon.
That's absolutely right, and we're talking about some new stuff. New format sort of our racing, and that should lead to some exciting new stuff, new cars, new formats. So check it out, israleague.com. To Z1 Simwheel for their sponsorship, and finally, have a good night.